been annoying me for over a year. The electrician that wired this up wired it backwards, and I've been meaning to fix it and just never get around to it. But a friend of mine called me out on it this morning, so just walked through the door, and the first thing I'm going to do today is fix this. Before I even put this one on the dyno, I'm going to try and spend some time working out the idle and stuff. I'm not sure if you can see in there, but there's a big hole drilled in the throttle body, and idle's all over the place. It's really high, and I'm going to try and see if I can't maybe bring the set stop down a little bit, recalibrate TPS, and see if we can get it to idle below 1100 RPM, 1200 RPM, whatever it is now. So I'm going to try and work all that out, and then we'll set it up on the dyno. Alright, so it's 1000% better so far. This is in gear. I'm sorry, in park. Here we are in gear. Before it was, like I said, 1200 RPM. It was pretty obnoxious. Now that I got it in the ballpark, I can play with it a little bit each time I come to a stop while tuning, but it's already way better than it was, but it's still a little too sensitive, so I'll keep messing with it. So I have another car coming for the dyno in a couple hours, so rather than rushing through this, I'm just going to wait. And it has no tags on it, so I can't drive it on the street. So I'm just going to make a bunch of laps up and down the parking lot, and I'm sure everybody's going to love that. That's not normal. Idling pretty good though. Alright, so the truck was pretty much on fire yesterday, so I let it cool down for a little while, and I didn't want to put it on the dyno and block the door because this Mustang was supposed to come, and it didn't come till really late in the day, so I kind of ended up basically losing the day, but this thing was just painted. Looks nice. So I was gonna do the truck this morning, but we just had a G8 dropped off, and I can't go that way. I think I'm gonna do the G8 first. Let's go hop in that. Alrighty. Oh my god. Alright, I'm gonna get high in about 5 seconds. Uh-oh, this isn't good. Alright, I think this one's pretty mild. I think it's just air intake, some headers. There's a couple. It looks like it's literally been on fire. That's weird. And so this one should go pretty simple, but if I start talking weird and doing a bunch of dumb stuff, it's because I'm super duper high, so that's going to be interesting. You can smell it even all the way over here. What's not good is some of the aerospace stuff I do requires some random drug tests, so hopefully that doesn't cause any problems there. This is crazy. Whew. I think I'm going to roll the windows down and let it air out for a little while. Guess I didn't want the wheels to fall off. Good God. Alright, hook up the tac adapter. Basically how I get engine RPM into the dyno. Works way better than one of the loop-de-doo things around the spark plug wires. My 5-volt input for the wideband to the HP tuners thing, so I can just monitor all my air fuel through the logging software and build charts and graphs and all that good stuff. And this thing has like a terminal strip, which is just a nightmare if you need to take things on and off all the time, so just put a DTM connector on it. And now we got air fuel through the laptop. Alright, this thing's pretty basic. So I'm just gonna make a few runs as is, factory calibration, and I'll make some changes and see what kind of what kind of gains we can find. It's really hot out today. It's supposed to be like 100, 101, and it's not even 9 a.m. yet, and I'm already like drenched in sweat. So don't expect it to make 1,000,000 horsepower, but let's see what the baseline numbers are. Alright, small change in plans. I pulled the file out of it. I was told it was stock, but it's been messed with in a pretty nasty way. Just for the hell of it, I figured I'd drive it a little bit, and I don't know, it'd be easier to show you. Watch this. What in the world was that? Yeah, I can't even try and drive it through that. That's no good. That's so bad, I don't even know if the changes that I made are going to take care of that. We might have some mechanical issues going on. We're going to load the new map real quick. Hopefully it doesn't need spark plugs, that would suck. And now we got to start diagnosing, and this was supposed to be an easy one. Guess my gut was right. First one I pulled out, it's all broken. See this pretty frequently when people put headers on, they don't pull the spark plugs out, and then trying to finagle the headers on, and they end up breaking the plugs. So guess I'll run to the auto parts store real quick and grab a set, since it seems to take them 4 hours to deliver anything, and then they always send the wrong stuff. So this is actually a moment in history. If you look close, you can tell that these are the first spark plugs ever made. So hopefully these new plugs will clear this up. Wow. So this is what's kind of interesting about tuning is, I mean, clearly this car is here because it's misfiring its ass off, and there's just never any mention of it. Just presented like everything's good and fine and just need a tune, and now this is going to potentially impact the rest of the day, as to where if I would have known about it, I could have planned for it. But this is the stuff you deal with basically every day, so it's nothing new. But if you're thinking about getting into this for a living, make sure you keep that in mind. Sort of see the extension, and I drop the ratchet. How in the world is it 640 feet that way? It's literally in the middle of the car. It doesn't make any sense. Alright, spark plug wires are on their last legs too, but we got some new plugs in there. Hopefully that'll take care of it. So let's try this again. Here's the before and after. This is probably going to feel like a land rocket compared to before. Fueling's within 2 or 3%. And going to try and move the timing around a little bit and see where we end up there. And hopefully a couple more runs or so and we should be good to go. I've done so many of these now that I got a bunch of good stuff to start with, so I can go through them a little quicker. But unfortunately, with the plugs and having to run and get them and everything else, it's been, this has taken every bit of 2 to 3 times longer than what I had hoped for. So I'm not sure what time it is, but hopefully we can still get the truck on here today. Picked up a little, pretty much everywhere, and you can see the red air fuel's a little bit leaner. I'm within like 1 or 2% on the target versus actual air fuel. I think I'm going to change the target a little bit. Try one more run. Air fuel's dead nuts, but it pulled a bunch of timing. So now I got to play the game of which does it like better, less timing and a leaner air fuel, or more timing and a richer air fuel. So I'll probably have to make a couple more runs to figure that one out. So this before and after doesn't really count because we mechanically changed some stuff, but either way it's going to feel like a whole new car. Lord only knows how long he's been driving it around with it not running right. So at first I thought we were down, I don't know, 7 to 10 horsepower, but the headers on this are much smaller diameter than most of the other ones that I've done, and comparing it with a factory file, it's up a good bit. And I do think that we just need some just general maintenance on this. It's showing some signs of needing a little bit of love. And then also the heat, it's super nasty out today. So I think we're about right around where we need to be. And but most importantly, it's actually running properly now. And when you look at the dyno graph, it looks like you hit it with 100 shot of nitrous. So hopefully he'll be happy, and think I'm going to try and throw the truck on here now. It's a different approach. The exhaust is shooting right at the differential. I don't think that's ideal. Alright, it's all set up. Sweating to death, and this thing was primarily here for the idle. The rest of the tuning stuff actually looked okay. It idles way better now and like 500 RPM lower, so the bulk of what needs to happen is done, but obviously it's here, so we're going to throw it up on dyno and make sure everything's good. So this should be just a few runs and done, but let's make some baseline runs and see where we're at. Up about 10 horsepower peak everywhere, a little more in some places. We'll just call it 10. I'm gonna check out the log and see if it looks like we can go a little bit further. Picking up more than I expected it to. Alright, a couple more small changes. I assume this is going to be the last one. Alright, I'm going to call this good there. That's actually a good amount more power than I was expecting it to make. And I think everybody should be happy with that. Alright, successful day. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but all that music outside is coming from a shop three shops down. So I think they make more noise with their music than I do with the dyno. It's kind of funny. But yeah, everything went well, did what it needed to do. The biggest challenge out of all of it was the idle on the truck. It idled pretty bad when it came in, and it's idling really good now. So I'm pretty happy with that. The G8 it did what it needed to do, and ironically I just set up an appointment for the first of the week to do headers, exhaust, and tune on another G8. That's been like just doing one after another on those. It's kind of weird. And I think we got pretty cool dyno rental on Monday. So hopefully that works out. Hopefully it's not a grudge car, so we can make some more videos of that. But yeah, doing these videos is kind of funny because it makes it look like you're tuning a car in 5 minutes. But you know, I guess a lot of people do that where, like the G8 for example, I very well could have loaded in a file, made one run and verified it was good and taken it off the dyno and started the next one. But I can't bring myself to do that and charge people. It's just not right. You got to go through all the steps, even if you know what you're putting in there is good. I've seen a lot of other shops do it. I've been at a lot of other shops and watched them do it. I've even rented my dyno to people where they'll, you know, put a car on dyno, make one run, make one change, make one more run, and then charge somebody $1,000. And I don't know. That's not me. So I take my time. You know, this was a full day's worth of work. Now, granted, a lot of that was spark plugs, and it seems like, you know, just needing to run a mile up the street to grab a set of spark plugs somehow set you back what feels like 2 hours. So the more prepared you can be before the dyno, the better off it is for everybody. So but that's going to do it for this video, and we'll see you on the next one.